Hey there, welcome. Thanks for being here. If you haven't been here before, hi, I'm Stacey. This is Navigating Reality. We talk about ways that we can break through paradigms that have been limiting us or holding us back or keeping us feeling like life is supposed to be some way that we know is going to be that way. And challenge that thinking, challenge those assumptions, and help us to see a third way, a fifth way, depending on where your research is. But the idea is that there's always other options of looking at things. We always have a choice to respond in a new way, which allows our life to turn out a little bit differently and add up to some big changes over the end of it. So, let's take a look at this one. Okay. Your fortune, because we're going to start with Zoltar Speaks card. Unexpected wealth will arrive. Remember, one is richest who is content with the least, for contentment is the wealth of nature. Although you may look for riches, realize that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When riches come, do not forget that a person's true wealth is the good one does in the world. So when opportunity knocks, grab it. It is easy at any moment to resign the possession of great fortune. To acquire it is difficult and arduous. Ain't that the truth? I love the picture here. Classic. I love it. Okay, so congratulations on your great fortune. It is so easy for us to go, hey, I want what I don't have, to look at what's missing from the perspective, the purview that we find ourselves in. And yet it's so true, right? If we don't have that many wants, we're actually okay. Like we're doing pretty good. And I don't know about you, one of the ways I like to remind myself that I have it pretty good. Again, it's all relatively speaking, but I tell myself that I have it good, and some of the ways that I display, demonstrate, and prove to myself is by making good food, right? The rich flavors, the layers, the way that I'm able to stimulate my senses, the enjoyment of it, and then of course the satisfaction of eating, good food that keeps me going in a good way. Every once in a while I will try something that I think is outside of my experience, my perspective, what I think I deserve, in order to build that capacity. Right now, I am experimenting with spirulina powder, 100% organic, an algae derived nutrient. It has a ton of protein and a ton of other different fabulous things packed inside of it that are really good for us and our biome and all of that good stuff in our gut. And so it's really helping me. And actually, it's funny because I even found a recipe for this drink that they serve in Sedona that's like a spirulina ice cube that melts, and it's lime and it was lime, spirulina, and maple syrup in coconut water. Very Sedona. And so I made my own version, and now I'm into this spirulina lime honey version of coconut water mixed with water, and dang, is it good in the afternoons. And I mean, I play around with these things for a couple of reasons. First off, neurodivergent. Okay, my brain needs extra stimulation, but it also needs extra protein and extra nutrition, especially when I'm working my butt off, because this requires extra fuel. So trying out different stimulations or neurotropics, or figuring out different ways to maintain the quality of my thinking has always been very important to me. So that's one thing. The other thing is that if I'm drinking cocktails in Sedona, and I from Sedona that I can imagine are being drunk there, and found a reasonably priced version of spirulina that I could try out to be able to test and see if it's really as good as all the experts say it is. Right, it gives me an opportunity to live the life that I think I should be living without feeling like I got to fly to Sedona for the week and be part of a retreat and take part in sound baths every day in order to feel like I qualify. I need you to get creative. I need you to think about something that you would go on a trip for and figure out how you can bring that to your world now. Because that's how we shorten the distance between what we think we are so far away from and what we desire. Because if we desire it, it exists. And it's a matter of us perceiving a distance or not perceiving a distance. And this is where we get back into the navigating reality, my friends. So, working on reprogramming our subconscious is essential to the work. We start off from a personality-based perspective. We start off challenging some really big assumptions about our life, like everything sucks and this is the worst. Okay, beautiful. Start there, right? And then as you build up more of a vocabulary for what's going on in your internal world, your internal dialogue, your thinking about things, your perspective, the more you're going to become aware, and the more you're going to be able to snip away at those edits, be able to shine a light so that they can dissipate and have less power over you and your decision-making process. We talked a little bit about this last video as well, but for this one I want us to focus on the special things, the treats that we feel like are so far away from us. No. I picked another one. I thought I was picking the same one, but it's a different one. Happiness comes from giving, not getting. This month, remember the ancient proverb, one generation plants the trees, another gets the shade. Your actions today can positively or negatively affect generations to come, so act wisely. Well, yeah, because then you're inspiring other people to enjoy their best life now rather than put it off for another day. This is it. We're creating accessibility. We are living our best life because we are taking away, I can't have that from our vocabulary, right? Or I'm not worthy of that, or I don't have enough money for that. Again, these stories are not helping us because the universe is like, hey, all right, you don't have enough money for that. You're like, no, that's not what I meant. Our words really do have far-reaching consequences, and I'm not saying this in a way for you to feel like, oh God, I can only think positive things. No, our brains work the way that they work. It's about you consciously working with your thinking in order to create more synchronicity and harmony. All right? So, I mean, we're about 7 minutes into this video. What do I really want to leave you with? What does Spirit have on this that is incredibly important for you to know right now? Yeah, it's making every day special in some fabulous way, like treating yourself. You know, I was looking at the weather this week, and we take a 30-degree shift from +10 down to -20 in the week. Today was +10 day. The wind wasn't too shabby. So I made a non-negotiable agreement with myself that I needed to go for a walk along the river this afternoon. Now, the best part is I got a bunch of work done before that and some meetings and stuff like that. So that felt even better. But ultimately, if I don't prioritize making the most of the good weather when it exists, of being able to enjoy the sunshine and, you know, just taking a seat because the wind was so warm, it was fabulous. It felt just so relaxing. You know, I can't do that every day. And it's those sensory experiences, those sensory rich experiences that we keep talking about, that create anchor points to help support you on your journey. It's interesting, right? Because the way that I've been talking about this, hopefully you've caught on in the last few videos, where it's like, how do we take the invisible, the abstract, the something that we can't see but we know is there because of the impact it has on us, which is our thinking, our thoughts, and energy and reality as far as we can not sense it beyond our 5 senses, and be able to connect that to the 5 senses that we have control over or that we have access to, and then tuning that 6th sense in order to be able to better understand what is around us and what we're moving through at any given time. And the practices that I talk about are ways to bridge the gap between those things, because the more we can understand the invisible world that we're running through, walking through, operating in, and projecting into at all times, the more we're going to be able to feel like the world that we're living in our waking hours is a more authentic, aligned experience with our spirit, our soul spark, our center, and our divine nature. All right? Hopefully it's getting you curious in what's out there for you, you know, and how you're able to make the most of this one life that we get to live. All right, last few words. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. Take risks and venture out of your comfort zone. If you don't move beyond where you are today, you will never have more or be more. There is a trip you've been thinking of taking. Go. You will make some valuable new contacts. Well, shoot. Sometimes you get the weirdest information from source and spirit, and you're just like, wow, I didn't even know that was possible, and how did I get here? And darn it, it sounds like I'm gonna have to go. Hopefully, it sounds like you gotta go too. So, I hope it's fun. I hope it's someplace you can get in and out of in a couple of days. I hope the flights are cheap and you find a good sale for hotels that makes it all possible, my friend, because you deserve adventure and a life well lived. So, here's to us getting out of the harbor, taking some risks, and yeah, I guess I'll do my next video from wherever I am. We'll see how that goes. Okay! Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye!